Question for you this morning. What happens when a suburban mom finds herself in the middle of NASCAR? Carole Townsend tells us in her new book, Magnolias, Sweet Tea and Exhaust, one woman's journey to understanding the phenomenon of NASCAR. Good morning, and thank you for joining us, Carole.
Thank you for having me.
I gotta say, that's quite a title to kind of get you hooked into the story.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your history and your experience with just joining this NASCAR world.
I had absolutely no history, which is why I decided to write the book. I traveled quite extensively in my career, and I found without fail that when people found out that I was from the South, one of the first questions they would ask me was, who's your favorite driver? Or tell us what the deal is about NASCAR, and I knew nothing. So at the beginning of the 2013 season, I just hit the road and went to 6 or 7 races.
Wow.
And, yeah, Hall of Fame and the garages up in North Carolina. And I got a heavy dose of schooling in NASCAR.
So you decided, no more ignorance. It's time for me to learn about this sport.
Right. You know, NASCAR is a phenomenon, and I've always wondered, with 75 million fans in the United States, what was I missing? Mm-hmm. Because if you see a race on TV and you don't know what you're watching, I mean, let's face it, it can be boring if you don't know what you're watching.
I would be one of those viewers. I don't know much about this sport.
Yeah, I always was, but I decided, you know, once I learned about it, that would open up a new world for me. Plus, I wanted to understand the phenomenon. I wanted to understand the people, the culture, because it is a culture unto itself.
And you got a very immersed experience in this world of NASCAR. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness. Well, as I said, I went to 6 or 7 tracks here in the Southeast. I decided early on that I was going to have to drive a car myself down at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And having had 2 knee surgeries the previous year, thank goodness, they wouldn't let me drive the car by myself. So I rode with a professional driver. And we topped out at 165 miles an hour. I was mortified. But when we were finished, I was disappointed that it was over. I get the addiction to the speed thing. I really do. It was an incredible experience.
And one thing we were talking about before the show started, this is a way to talk about the sport, but in a fun way for people who maybe like myself or who like you in the beginning of this journey don't know much about NASCAR.
Right. I talk a lot, or I write a lot in the book about the ins and outs of the sport itself, but I talk about the people. I talk about there's a proper way to show up at a race in a certain race car driver's attire. There's a way to behave, there's a way to act. As in any culture or subculture, you've got to understand. My goal was to not stick out when I went to these races, and the first 2 races, that's all I did, was stick out like a sore thumb. I didn't know what I was doing. But by the end of the season, I think you could count me among a pro.
And who is this book really geared for? Who do you think would really get a lot out of this book?
You know, I'll tell you, I'm proud to say that NASCAR insiders themselves say not only is it geared for a beginner, somebody who's maybe wanting to check the sport out, but also for people who are diehard fans, because I guess I really did my homework very well, and I've come up with some facts that even a lot of those didn't know. Mm-hmm. So it is entertaining, even if you're not a fan, have never seen a race. It's just a funny book. I also talk about the fun of traveling throughout the South.
Right.
And you know, the crazy, quirky things that you see, the beautiful things too. But so it's fun on several different levels.
Well, thank you so much, Carole, for joining us this morning and talking about your book.
Thank you.
And to learn more about Carole or to get a copy of your own book, you can just check out her website. That's caroletownsend.com.